to the basics of what we're actually talking about today. So this being SciStarter Live, it's the end of the month. We are reviewing everything that we've accomplished during this month. And I think we accomplished quite a bit. We only have, since we're still technically not the end of the month, there are some like changes that might happen to our data, and a lot more will come of it past this event. So we have like snapshots to join with you or to share with you, so you know exactly what was accomplished to a certain extent, and then we'll keep learning more as time moves on. As you may know, in other events we've talked about this before, but because we work in science research and help accelerate science research, sometimes the data is not immediately available for a result, right? Sometimes we have a survey and we get like a percentage answer of something, but that doesn't mean we know the actual outcome, the scientific research outcome of it. And so similarly, for events like these, we're at that last day. We can give you some information, but not all of it yet. We have a lot more to share as time moves on. So take this as your beginning of a month full of information that we'll be sharing with you all, probably into maybe even a little bit of June. You'll hear more from us. So it'll be a good time of, look how awesome y'all are. And it'll be great. All right, so I'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. This is the most exciting slide because it shows just how much we did and how we did by the end of the month, including right now. So I'm looking at a screenshot that I took mere seconds before we started this event. We were at 1,094,716 acts of science. So even past the 1 million, we're in a community where we still do citizen science beyond what was the goal. It doesn't matter what the goal is. We want to go beyond it and keep moving. It's a year-long activity to do citizen science. And so we are endlessly grateful for the amount of people who are involved in these efforts. And I do mean efforts considering there's 1,600 projects to choose from, and even more that might not even be on SciStarter. But as someone who knows about SciStarter and a community member of SciStarter, you can bring it to us as an act of science. And so it's pretty impressive that even though we got to our goal on April 24th, so kudos to us, big pat on the back, there is always more to do, right? So I'm going to give you the basics of what we accomplished. Here's like our big screenshot of the bigger numbers, but we met that 1 million acts of science goal on April 24th. I'll go back one more second. We are at over 94,716 above that 1 million goal. So within the last, how many days was that? 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th. So in the last 6 days, including today, we've had already 94,000 more. So pretty impressive. All right, moving on. So we had over 200 events within our month. So that does count, if you remember my lovely little thing right here, that does count a lot of these events, but it doesn't count all of them. So a lot of you went on and decided, hey, I'm going to host an event, or I'm a part of a library, I'm a part of a community group that wants to do an event for Citizen Science Month, and you did it. And then you sent it to us and said, hey, use this on your website to promote it for us. And we said, absolutely. And once you added it there, it was included within that count. And 200 is not even the amount, the total. We have more. They're just still being categorized and uploaded. And so we're counting to make sure we didn't miss any, which is a big deal. This is a lot of work that you all did beyond what we did. I think just SciStarter by itself was probably accounting for maybe, I don't know, maybe 40 of those events maximum. Like we did not do more than, we did not do half of those. That was mostly the community. So excellent job, everyone. Oh, oops. So we also had 180,000 people connected with us during the month, just in general. And so that's proving a point of how, even though we had over a million contributions to science by reporting acts of science, that does equate also to some amazing people who do things repeatedly. They keep working on these projects, because we had a lot of people who were doing affiliate projects and they were being counted in the reports, but we also had like tens of thousands that are included in that number who are going out of their way to come to our website and report the acts that they did. And so all that hard work is people doing multiple things, or reporting a big group of all of you doing a lot of hard work. And so those 180 people are superstars. And they're also people who are enjoying our newsletter and the weekly reporting of, or weekly communicating out of what events and exciting projects you can do that next week of Citizen Science Month. So some incredible people in that 180,000, and I think they are all considered a part of our community and will hopefully join us forever and join us for more than just this month, right? We also had a lot of social media excitement happen, right? We had a lot of people posting with pictures of their events and pictures of things that people can take part in. And if you wanted to see a real picture of it, you could also see it. Wrong one. Let's change that. 1 million acts of science. If you still go to this page, which is still, oh, and we even grew to 95,000 friends. My mere seconds away. If you want to see the awesome things that people did, we still have our wall of fame up where you can see some really fun pictures of events, and all of our reported acts coming up, as well as underneath here, we've got all of the posts. So if you did some fun posting during the month, you can see your images here if they were on Twitter or Instagram. They're included right there. We had a great event yesterday about the All of Us research program, which is one of our main supporters. And so we love those. And even a stall catcher's Girl Scouts patch, which is pretty great. So all of these social media posts are to say that you all showed some immense excitement for this month, and we're showing your support on social media, which we love, and we want to keep growing that. So it was definitely way more than 1,000 times, but 1,000 times I thought would be a good number to stick with here. So our partners and friends, either you're an individual or organizations that partner with us, so many posts went out with the hashtag 1 million acts of science, hashtag Citizen Science Month, hashtag CitSci Month, hashtag Citizen Science, etc. So we are so happy to have you a part of that group. If you did post for us or post with those hashtags or anything, go ahead and like raise your hand in the chat or give a thumbs up or something, so we can see just how many of you are part of that vocal, publicized crowd. In the meantime, I did want to point out two events or a couple of spotlights that are worth noting. So in our halfway through the month, we had our 12-hour 1 million acts of science palooza, in which we did 12 different Zooniverse projects, which was 12 hours of awesomeness. Thanks, Raymond. Awesome. We did 12 different projects. They're all listed down here, right? But we had quite a lot of contributions done that day. And this isn't even just the SciStarter community, by the way. This is everyone who was on Zooniverse that day doing these projects. But we had 42,000 contributions done that day. So we had a really, really big group of people online with us. We had over 150 people join us online to actually do these projects with us in real time with the project scientists or just with the SciStarter team for us who were on. And it was just a really fun event because it was a full day of just constant Zooniverse like gaming activities, which was really fun. I don't know about you all, but that made the difference for dark energy explorers for me, especially. Like some of these projects, I was like, ooh, I don't know how this will go. It might be really challenging. And Dark Energy Explorers is one of the ones that kind of surprised me as oh, this is totally doable. It looks scary at first, but if you feel comfortable based on like the instruction you're getting, and Lindsay, who was our guest that day, was just for that hour was just awesome about explaining how it all works. And so if you have a chance to join us for events like these in the future, please do. We would love to do more of these where we just talk through these projects and do the project with the project leader. In fact, that's what a lot of our SciStarter Live will like evolve into, even though we do that already, but it'll be more about doing the project with you. So it'll be good. Excellent. And thank you, Sandra. Awesome. So let me see, I didn't miss any of them. Yeah, 12 hours nonstop, 150 people, we had 42,000 contributions, and then we did all these projects, which if you're waiting for them to be on YouTube, they will be on YouTube shortly. I think we might have, unless they already are, I might have forgotten. Also, okay, so we had some favorite projects of the month that I wanted to share, and this is not to say that these are the only projects that were done, obviously, but we have our generalized always favorite of having a lot of contributions through stall catchers, of course. We love that project, so it makes a lot of sense to be on this list. But we had a ton of people join us for Nest Quest Go. So if you love birds, if you love birds and oology, the study of eggs, if you didn't know that word before either, it's a great word to use in your daily life. I enjoy using it at random. So oologies or oologists out there, I would love for you to join Nest Quest Go because they're a super popular project and you get to look at bird nesting habits, which is really fun to see. And yes, thank you, Roland, so much. Roland's dropping the links for these projects too if you want to get started today. Add up our number even higher on the last day, please. We would love that. In addition to those, so we had a solar eclipse. I already talked briefly with someone on here from Missouri who was in Poplar Bluff. So we have some incredible people who joined us just simply because they love eclipse science, and we're so glad that they did. And so two of our most popular projects were SunSketcher and Solar Eclipse Safari. Those were the ones that we had so many of you join in. And for SunSketcher, just use your phone and like face it towards the sun, and it just took a video or took images of the sun. We had an event where we talked about that one, and I got nervous after participating in that one. If any of you did that one, it's kind of funny to see how it's like a dot on your screen, and it's just a bunch of little tiny things. You don't feel like it does much, but it very much did much. And so those images that were sent in are going to be used for helping us find the exact shape and size of the sun, and help us with our relativity operations, what are they called? Equations. And so it's a really important project, but it seemed so odd to be a part of it because you're like, these are the pictures you want. Are you sure? They're not very pretty, but that's exactly what they wanted. It was great. And for Solar Eclipse Safari, if you did soundscapes too, that's another one that is very similar. We were looking at wildlife. So thank you to everyone who participated in the Solar Eclipse Safari and took observations of wildlife in your area and decided to share what weird things happened, which, by the way, if anyone on here did see some weird stuff during the eclipse from wildlife, feel free to share because I'd love to know. I myself was sitting next to a caterpillar that decided to curl up when it got dark. I unfortunately didn't get a good video of it happening, but I have a video of it kind of opening up its head and being like, oh, hey, it's light again, and being very confused. So now I know what caterpillars do during eclipses, which how many people can say that? Probably a couple, but it includes me now. And then we also have CocoRoz and Globe Observer. Globe Observer was also during the eclipse as well, but we do have a lot of people who just do Globe Observer clouds observations. And so this was all of the protocols for Globe Observer that were given some love here. We even had a group out in Nigeria. It's the Unique Mappers group in Nigeria who did a ton of Globe Observer mosquito mapper and worked with their team, the Globe Observer team, to make it happen. And so we're so happy and proud of them for being a big part of that too, because they did some excellent work. And you'll see some words about them in the near future just to share how awesome they are. And you'll probably see them on social media too. They're pretty involved, which we love. And CocoRoz, for any of you who are really digging the having a rain gauge, thank you everyone who submitted observations for CocoRoz, because that rain gauge data is a lot. We got a lot of it. And so we know it's one of the favorites of our SciStarter community too. So if you want to be involved in any of these, we have them listed at the bottom. Roland is actually linking them into the chat, so you can just click on them and go on to that project. Otherwise, you can just look it up on SciStarter and see where it takes you. Dark Energy Explorers was another favorite, and I'm glad it was because it made me feel good about like, oh yeah, this should be a popular one. This is a really fun activity where you feel like you feel really cool too because you're trying to find galaxies far, far away. So it's pretty impressive to be able to be a part of that. And it's not nearly as difficult as it like first looks like it. So I'm glad a lot of people got over that hump and started doing it with us. Excellent. All right, so we did have events happen and special projects happen. I did want to note one in particular for projects. There's a project called Did You Feel It? And if any of you live in, and I know I saw someone in New Jersey, but if you're in the northeast area of the US, a lot of people, 219,000 contributions to this project happened. And it's because of the earthquake that happened at the start of April. And so if you were impacted by that earthquake or you felt it, I'm so glad that I'm hoping you're all okay. But also it was a really big impact on people's desire to want to contribute their knowledge based on their personal experience being in the event. And so we know about that project and we want more people to be involved because there are earthquakes all the time in different areas of the world. So if you live in a place where you've experienced an earthquake, feel free to look that one up because we'd love to include you within that count as we move forward past Citizen Science Month too. So that's a lot of people, Yeah. And then event spotlight, we had an event that was essentially based on a project because it's the BioBlitz, so on iNaturalist, and they were our #1 event with the highest number of contributions ever for an event, which was 30,000 contributions. And so now NC BioBlitz, or the North Carolina BioBlitz, I'm wondering how many days it took part of, because compared to City Nature Challenge, it might not be there, or it might not be at that level, but it is really impressive that without it being the City Nature Challenge, we had 30,000 contributions within one event. So if you live in North Carolina, if you're aware of this one, if you took part, give yourself a big pat on the back for being part of such a massive, massive event. We love it. Yay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pause there actually because we have some questions to ask you. And I actually didn't ask you some of the ones I was supposed to ask you earlier. We skipped over asking who you are. So I'd like to ask you now. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, but it'll be a different screen. Hello, picture of me and friends. So we want to know based off of your own experience, why you're here, etc. But have you ever participated in a citizen science project before? So is this you are listening in? I would assume that you probably have. But I would like to know if we're talking to anyone new. And if you need to look at a link instead, I'm going to drop this in the chat. So you'll have that available. Ta-da. So you can either click on that link or you can go to menti.com and use that code at the top. I'll read it off. And there's a QR code. So if you're on a desktop like I am, I have my phone next to me, I can actually just look up the image. And it looks like one person figured it out. That's good. So far, so good. Oh, I can't even, let me go to the, my phone doesn't want to focus. There we go. A dual screen. It opens up and asks me, have I ever participated in a citizen science project before? And I say, yes, I totally have. So I'm now a part of the count. And it looks like we've got 6 for yes, 1 for no. See if anyone else is willing to join in. Okay. Nicola, I'm so excited for you to be a part of this event then, so you can see how big a community it is before you get super involved in the future, I'm sure. Cool. Okay, I'm glad we kind of have some no's, honestly, because you guys get to see what I just said, the bigger community. Cool. All right, next question. If I can get us to the next one. There we go. We want to know what type of human you are. So if you were using your phone, it should have automatically changed. If you're on a desktop, it should automatically show up too to do the same thing. You can choose multiple ones. So for me, for example, I was a student. I guess I'm not anymore. I'm a student for life, but I'll say I'm an educator. I'm an aspiring citizen scientist, but in this case, if you're also already a citizen scientist, you can also use that one there too. And then you can add, I am also a bored person on the internet always. And so I'll hit submit and all my answers will be included. Ta-da! I am the one. Oh, just kidding. One more bored person on the internet. Cool. We got some teachers. We got aspiring citizen scientists and citizen scientists. That encompasses both, by the way. Sorry about that. Excellent. Cool. All right, I'll change it in a moment here, and then we'll be able to ask some more questions. We're going to get a little bit more specific here about what type of humans we are during Citizen Science Month. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, so did you take some time this month? Did you participate in any of the Citizen Science Month activities? So this means you went to an event. This means you did any citizen science project during this time. This means you went on to SciStarter and stared at it for a moment before closing the tab, thinking, oh no, I need to work on something else. That's totally acceptable. You can include that too. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. I definitely did Citizen Science Month events and activities. If you did a activity, as in like you did a project, that counts here. Okay. All right. Looks like the majority of us are yeses. If you were a no, that's okay. We're happy to have you here anyway, because that means you're now being sucked into the community. You are here to stay because I'm too entertaining to let you go. Okay, there we go. All right, what event or activity? So what did you do this month? This one's open answer, so you can submit several ones. I'm gonna, for example, say I did the 12-hour Palooza, and I'll hit submit. I can also write a couple more. So I did a lot of stall catchers and Zooniverse projects. If you did the City Nature Challenge, that's still happening today-ish. So yesterday was the last day to observe, but now we have this month, or now for the next couple days, we have all the identification. So if you are near the City Nature Challenge or you're in the group, I can show you how that works too. But we're doing all the identification, making sure all of our photos are uploaded before May 5th, and that's when our results will come in. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Nicole, you said you did the eclipse. Cool. Love it. I'll add that onto mine. Eclipse projects. So I'll account for that. Projects. I also did the City Nature Challenge. I was in Phoenix specifically. Phoenix. I am loyal to Phoenix for it. Although I think Washington, D.C. did it as well, and they might have gotten more observations. So I'm sad. I'm going to check right now. Excellent. Provided how to use iNaturalist. What is this citizen science project? Yeah, awesome. I love it. Eclipse Soundscape, City Nature Challenge. Where'd you do City Nature Challenge though? Who's you? Who are you? Were you the global one? Help with the street one. Awesome. Yeah, the Project Sidewalk, I assume. Hopefully. Yeah, I think so. Cool. Eclipse one, can't remember name, iNatural Subservations. Yeah. So Eclipse projects included SunSketcher, Eclipse Soundscapes, Globe Observer Eclipse, Solar Eclipse Safari. There was also Deb Initiative, Citizen Kate, Mega Movie. There were a lot. Yeah. Oh, Gwen, awesome. Yeah, CNC in Los Angeles. Ooh, you're part of the original crew. LA versus San Francisco. That's awesome. Is this your first time? Was this your first time doing the event, Gwen? Soundscapes. Okay. So we got soundscapes ones. Not your first time. Perfect. Well, then we are very glad to have you back, and you clearly thought it was worth your time to come back. Amazing. Okay. All right. Now this one's a little tougher, so I'm gonna gauge. We're gonna see how we go, how we do here. Now, for this one, I want to know how much you agree with these statements. So I'll read through them so that you can see how you feel about them. A lot of you did Eclipse projects, so look at it specifically towards Eclipse-related experiences too. You can pick an event that you can just kind of gauge off of this if you want, or you can just say, in general, all of this is in science stuff, how this made you feel. So for example, my involvement in Citizen Science Month is crucial to scientific discoveries. In my mind, depending on what project I did, I would feel probably more like strongly towards that or not, kind of just depends. So in my mind, I'm saying, yeah, I totally strongly agree. And strongly disagree is to keep it at 1, by the way. So be careful. The next one was my involvement made me feel like my voice and perspective was important. So I believe my voice is important. Absolutely. People want help from us. That was especially helpful to learn because of if any of you have been in our recent events like the 12-hour Palooza and such, it was interesting to note that some of the project scientists, like this data is hard. So when you're working through data on Zooniverse or looking at identifications on iNaturalist, this is tough stuff. Sometimes it's really hard to identify what's in the image. And so just be aware that like even the scientists need help doing this, and therefore having the power of the crowd makes it easier for even scientists to do their job accurately. It's not just about us doing their data for them. It's they need our eyes and our ability to see different nuances and images. And so I did feel like my voice was very important. My involvement showed that I contributed to the project's success. Totally. I'm at a full fire for that one. And I had something unique to offer based on my background. So if you're like a birder, if you love astronomy, I don't have either of those. I'm just endlessly enthusiastic for random things. And therefore, I'm strongly agree because my background means I will learn anything. I will continue to be a sponge. And then I'll hit submit. Okay, I'm loving these answers. Okay, I'll move it along in a moment here too, because we've got a good chunk of people participating. It's good to know. So if you had something unique to offer based on your background for that one, I'm curious what type of humans we are, if you guys are like astronomy enthusiasts or anything. So feel free to add any commentary in the chat about what type of activities you do outside of citizen science, like if you are a birder or if you are a amateur astronomer, etc. I'd love to know about it. Sandra, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. A bee scientist told Sandra that he found a new species with a fuzzy photo from Citizen Science. So even with fuzzy photos, we were able to identify a new species. And that's crazy. For a bee, we already know about like 4,000 in the US. That's kind of, oh, that's good news. I'm assuming it wasn't a type of honeybee then. Maybe it's like a bunch of bees are evolving together. Maybe we have an interspecies local San Diego bee. Wow. Oh, if Sandra, did this happen during the City Nature Challenge by chance, or was it previous? Before, after, I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering, the reason I'm wondering is if it's like if it's been reported on already, I'd love to know what type of bee was discovered. Yeah, really prominent bee guy. Oh yeah, the bee people, they're well known. UCSD. Awesome. Okay. Huh. Cool. I'll have to look into that. That's really exciting. If you suddenly remember or see a article about it, feel free to shoot it my way to info@SciStarter or Emma at SciStarter. Would love to see it. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Now, I'm curious because we get this question or we get this reaction a lot from people. And before you answer, so let me backtrack so you can't answer. I don't think you'll be able to answer. Okay. So before you answer, we do often get the response from people of, oh, this will be great for my kids or my nephew or whatever. And we love that because they should be involved, right? But we also want to note that citizen science arose out of a need for regular people, adults particularly, to help with science projects because they have the ability, the maturity, the respect for nature, hopefully, and the ability to do certain activities and have the skills to do these things. And so one of our questions moving forward is about like the credibility of citizen scientists in professional circumstances too. So, and I'm of the belief that we are incredibly credible people, and we can be we are a very important part of scientific research. And so I am curious to know if you all have like a ranking of who you would recommend these activities to first, like depending on what you did, what did that mean for you? Do you automatically think, oh yeah, my library would love this? Or is it, I did some kid-friendly ones I think kids would love. That's awesome too. Any of the above, just your thoughts here. So for example, because I have no children, my number one always is I would recommend it to my adult friends. And then they respond to me with, what? What are you talking about? What's your job again, Emma? And then I explain it again. So yeah, okay. So then, and then also I used to be a teacher. And so to me, I think being a teacher and doing citizen science means some excellent things because it puts it into the perspective of no matter who you are, when you're learning science, you don't have to be in the pipeline to become a scientist. You instead get to be a part of a unique community that still can love science and be curious about things farther in life than just being a part of that thing. Next up, I would put library because they are all encompassing of community engagement, and a lot of projects are very localized too. And there's a lot of projects that need help that are localized. And so we have a lot of access to that through libraries. And then kids would be last, but mostly also because I don't have kids. So it'd probably be ranked higher if I could directly impact my own children. So if you have thoughts about this, go ahead and add your results. I just added mine. Looks like adult friends. Oh, do y'all copy me? I feel like mine was a very rational response. First my adult friends, then my teachers, then my library, then my kids. But that's a good chunk of you. Okay. Huh, cool. That's good to know. If any of you have done these projects with kids, feel free to let me know in the chat like what projects we like to do too. I know for Eclipse projects, that was a big one that was potentially adults only, or like at least it's harder for kids to get involved in those ones. The Soundscapes one and Safari were the easiest ones for them. So it might depend on what you did this month. All right, I'll go ahead and move us forward. Oh, and that's the end of my presentation. I do have one last question if you all are willing. And it is, go back. Too many pages open. There we go. And I did want to ask about the future. So if you did more projects, if you've done more projects outside of Citizen Science Month and you want to see something for next year, I'll end my screen share so you can see me and Roland as well. So we want to know what makes a difference for you. Like, what were your favorite parts of Citizen Science Month this year? How can we make it even better next year? How can we support the things that you really love to see? And I'll actually change my name because I didn't realize I was the wrong person. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in the chat really fast. But what would you like to see next year for Cit Sci Month? And that could be something that you really liked this year, but maybe you don't want to do it next year. If you liked the Eclipse projects, I really hate to tell you, but you're going to have to wait another year. That one, the next eclipse is not until 2026. So we're looking at 2025 right now. How do we feel about 2025? It looks like, okay, thank you, Gwen. I liked the webinars. Yeah, so Gwen, can you tell me a little bit more about like which webinars? Because we did host a lot of them. I'm wondering if you went to every single one or if you just had particular ones that you liked. For example, if you were part of like the library network ones. I hosted a lot. Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, so a lot of the SciStarter live ones. Good, okay, yeah, I love that. We'd like to continue doing that, so I'm a big fan. I didn't make it to all. Yeah, luckily we do the recordings, right? Would really like San Diego County BioBlitz or San Diego River BioBlitz. Ooh, I love that plan, Sandra. And I bet you would be a great person to get it started too. As much as SciStarter loves every location on the planet Earth, we only exist in certain places. So there are networks of people though all over the place, especially in San Diego. I know a couple actually at SDSU who are really interested in doing more citizen science with their students. So I bet they would be a great resource to talk to. We can connect on that later on. San Diego Natural History Museum. Oh, wait. Oh, they did it last time. Interesting. Okay, cool. Appreciated the resources like slide deck. Yeah, thanks, Robin. What is citizen science? I also use SciStarter photos in our naturalist BioBlitz project. Nice. Yes, totally. I think I missed a bunch. Oh, thank you guys for so much for adding these all. The genes one yesterday. Yeah, the Genes and Journeys event yesterday was amazing. The amount of people online, that was like over 1,000 people on Zoom at once, but we had like 3,000 registered. So we have a really amazing group of people to send an email to share that recording to. Would like to know more information about project and projects about lye soap versus no lye soap. Oh, interesting. I have no knowledge of that. I'm sorry. I'll save that for later because I have no idea. I wonder if that's something that we're testing right now too. From Facebook, hello, Helen. Did the BioBlitz City Nature Challenge at UC Berkeley? Yay, awesome. Okay, I'm so glad you did the City Nature Challenge. Oh, I should show the results so far from a couple of our favorite places, actually. So while we're at it, City, or my naturalist. Yeah, if you did participate, we specifically had our very biased favorites for the City Nature Challenge based on where our team was. So I can show you those ones at the very least. I guess I mostly attended all the NIH. Nice. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. I'm so glad you did then because those are the All of Us project was really important to us. So I'm glad that you were able to go to those, Gwen. I run a sit sci project and I want to do more with my own project. Yeah, absolutely. Sadie, what's your what project are you in charge of? And is it on SciStar already? Redshift rank. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Totally. We should do another Zooniverse Palooza for your project, with your project. I'd love to have you on for that. Okay, let me write that down just so I won't remember, or so I will remember, I should say. That one and the lye soap commentary, because I have no idea what the difference is. Lye soap. Okay. Let me double check. NIH good. Did I miss any others? City Nature Challenge was a fun time for y'all. Love it. If you didn't do the City Nature Challenge, by the way, essentially what we're just talking about is it's a giant BioBlitz for a city. And so it was a really exciting time based on where you are in the world. You have a city that's nearby that's doing it, including Berkeley, California, San Francisco. For me, it was Phoenix and Washington, D.C., all of the above. And we'd love to have more people involved because we're currently counting up the totals for how many observations. And last year, I think it was 2 million. So I think we're going to pass that this year. It's going to be great. All right, so just because I am selfish, let's go ahead and share my screen again so you can see how well Phoenix did. Phoenix did considerably better than last year, so this is big news. Some of these places, like in Brazil, that are like in a jungle, have like 1 million just on their own. But this is really good for Phoenix. We're doing way better than we were in the last couple of years. So I'm excited to go through and help report these observations. And Dr. Mo, an ASU professor who we love. Unfortunately, stinknet was still #2 so far, but saguaro is still our #1 species. That's great. We also had Washington, D.C. Projects. Where is Washington, D.C.? There you are. Oh, yeah, you beat us. Dang. All right, DC. Nicola, you should definitely take part in this next year, by the way. Hopefully we can get more people in Phoenix too, but this is pretty funny. I didn't realize DC was so good at this, but look at their image. It's so cool. Well, good to know. We'll beat y'all next time. Yes, I'd love to do that. I just fun participating this year, but didn't think about involving my own project. Oh, yeah. Sadie, we got you. Let's definitely get you involved. I would love to have you on with us. So you can, it's literally if you train me just publicly on a recorded video, that's essentially what we'll end up doing. Because I like to ask all the questions that people are afraid to ask. Are there any other cities that anyone wanted me to look up for this? I think we had San Diego on there. So City Nature Challenge, San Diego. Let's see what pops up. Okay. Oh, whoops. I didn't click on the right one, did I? Ah. City Nature Challenge. San Diego. And then after that, I'll pause for a moment. Okay, 2024 about. There we go. Oh, look at that. Nicely done, San Diego. I wonder if our friends at SDSU were super involved. Aw, birdie. Look at those fun species. Your number one was a lizard? That's actually really impressive. I'm excited that a lizard was number one. That's like those are hard to get sometimes. I don't think I had any lizards this time, and I'm in Arizona. So sad. Okay, well, fine. Any other cities anyone wants me to look up? Otherwise, I'll move on. I just think it's interesting. And these aren't even accounted for yet in the count. We should have a lot more in our axe count because I'll include, since Phoenix was tied to SciStarter will be included in there too. Cool. Oh, trying to start my own project now. Let me just start my screen share. Helen, hello. Trying to start my own project now. Still working on building my solitary bee hotel. Aw, but want to track if any of them will head to my backyard, adding more native plants. Now, Helen, I have a project for you to take advantage of actually. So if you are already on iNaturalist, that's perfect. Because we have a project that I think I own it. Let me go back. Where are you? Never Home Alone. We Are the Ark. Yeah. So there is a project called Rewilding. We Are the Ark, and it's through our partnership with Wild Hope, which is the PBS film series that's about conservation hooray stories. Good stuff. And if you are a part of this, which it's very new, so I'm excited that we have some friends joining us here. But you can add your observations of your native plants and your bees to this project. So we would love to have you involved in that. Roland, would you mind sending this onto Facebook for me? It's on I put it in the chat. Yeah. I'm so glad you're adding more native plants. That's good. It'll be fun. If you haven't seen my garden of 1,000 bees, Helen, I hope you do, unless that was your motivation, because that would have been my motivation. If I had a yard, I would definitely rewild it and set up cameras to watch bees be silly. Although if anyone observed some weird behavior during City Nature Challenge, I saw some bees fighting each other. It was very exciting. Either fighting or doing something very different, but you know, I'm not a bee expert yet. All right, did I miss any other questions on there? Let's find out. I'm gonna send you information, all natural, blah, blah. What else? I think we might be okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry we don't have Eclipse projects next April, but we're excited to have you all back anyway. I'm gonna shift over to this one. So this is concluding our last day, concluding our Citizen Science Month activities. There will be way more to share with you all, but just to remind you all, the big items was we beat it early. We beat it on the 24th. That is incredible. Y'all are an incredible group of people who joined us this time around. All 180,000 of you who do a multitude of projects and work hard to do some incredible things. But we also have that 1,000+ posts of social media where people were celebrating it, and we're super, super happy to have y'all be a part of that. And over 200 events, which the majority of were definitely not SciStarter. So we are happy to have been sharing the spotlight there. So thank you for bringing in your community to this process too, not just keeping it within SciStarter. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Gwen. Yeah, congratulations. It's all about you all who did this. So it wasn't SciStarter by themselves. This is the epitome of a community collective act, collective acts of science. Yeah. All right. Well, that is all I have for you. So I'll go ahead and stop my screen share. If you have any questions for us or would like to know anything or would like to share anything for next year's plans, again, we're already kind of planning. So if you want to share your thoughts with us, feel free to email us. I'll go ahead and drop our email in the chat again. It's info@scistarter.org. You can also reach me at emma@scistarter.org. It's super hard to remember. Also, if any of y'all, one last thing I forgot to mention, if you can, if you're willing to, we have We have a survey for volunteers and for facilitators. So if you facilitated your own event, you can fill out a specific survey. And if you are a volunteer, you can fill out a specific survey. I will drop those in the chat right now, actually. But if you fill those out and you hit a button to write in your email, it's anonymous, it's separated out, but the email is just so you can be in the running for a prize. So I'll be sending a ton of super awesome, it's not this shirt, but it's the 1 million acts, 1 million acts of science commemorative shirt, and it's got a really cool back to it. So I'll be sending those out to some awesome facilitators and possibly some volunteers, as well as other goodies like the field guide book, the tote bag, and all these things. So that'll be, once I get back to DC, I'll be sending those out to all of you so you have some time to fill out those surveys before the 15th of May. So I'll drop those links right now. If I can find them really quickly, that'd be good. And if you all have questions moving forward, I'm happy to stay on because we ended a bit early. But again, we appreciate you all, and I can't wait for next year. It's going to be amazing. All right, here's that link. In theory, there you are. Okay, so if you facilitated any projects, so if you were the leader, here's your link, okay? You can fill out the volunteer one too, by the way. You don't have to only do the facilitator one. And here is our volunteer link. So survey for volunteers, it ends with the volunteer letter there. I'll send those also in the follow-up email too. So thank you all for being so awesome, and we'll see you all next time.